Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome back. We are discussing financial management, and this is our second lecture on working capital. In this lecture, our focus will be on the types of working capital. In our previous lectures, we have already discussed what is working capital. We have decided that working capital is current assets less current liabilities. What are the components of working capital? The two major components are there. These are current assets and current liabilities. In the current assets, there can be raw material, work in process, finished goods, debtors, and marketable securities. In the current liabilities, it can be creditor, taxation, dividend payable, short-term loans, long-term loan maturing within 1 year, lease rental due within 1 year. There may be some other short-term liabilities as well. It will become part of current liabilities. In the objectives of working capital, we have already decided that objective of working capital is to maximize the wealth of the shareholder and to make sure that entity is able to make the payments on timely basis to avoid the distress and disruption in the business. Today we are discussing types of working capital. The types of working capital can be classified based upon the nature and based upon the time. So far as types based upon the nature of working capital is concerned, there can be two types of working capital. It can be gross working capital, it can be net working capital. Gross working capital is the total value of the current assets of the business. It will be considered gross working capital, and this number will always be positive. Net working capital is equal to current assets less current liabilities. If the current assets are greater than current liabilities, then it will be very positive situation. If the current assets are equal to current liability, net working capital will be zero. Entity will be able to meet its short-term obligation, but we will be required to maintain tight control to take the money on timely basis. There will be a lot of pressure on the management to manage the working capital in case current assets are equal to current liabilities. If my current assets are less than current liabilities, then entity will not be able to make payments and it will create distress and disruption in the business, as we were discussed in our previous lectures as well. So far as classification based upon the time is concerned, there are two major classification. One is permanent or fixed working capital. We can say this is the hardcore working capital as well. And the second one is variable or fluctuating or flexible working capital. Hardcore working capital is the amount required to maintain the minimum amount of working capital. We'll discuss in our coming illustration, we'll discuss in detail. It will remain every time into the business. It can be in the form of reserve working capital, or it can be a regular working capital that is being used on regularly basis into the business. Reserve working capital, it can be reserve working capital as well to meet the contingencies. So far as variable working capital is concerned, they said this is a working capital that fluctuates due to fluctuations in production and sales. And this fluctuations in the sales as well as fluctuations in the production might be due to the seasons, or it can be special order as well. To understand it in depth, these are the three previous scenarios that were discussed earlier. In the first case, Barry is buying and selling. In the second case, Barry is buying and selling, but the customer payment term has been increased from 2 months to 3 months. In the third case, Barry started to maintaining finished goods inventory as well. This is a fourth scenario, and Barry has started manufacturing. In the first three scenarios, Barry was buying the finished goods and selling the finished goods. It means Barry was in the trading business. Now Barry has entered into the manufacturing business, and the terms are sales value is same. Finished goods supplier payment terms are 2 month, customer payment terms are 3 months, not 2 months. Barry is maintaining 1 month stock in the finished goods. Work in process is taking 1 month to convert the raw material into the finished goods. I know this is unusual number, this is odd number, but just for simplicity purposes we are taking work in process conversion time is 1 month. Raw material supplier is being paid within 2 months, overhead supplier is being paid within 1 month, and wages are being paid within the same month. As we discussed, sales are constant. Finished goods stock is constant, means Barry will maintain 1 month stock in the finished goods and work in process will take 1 month. It means what is being put into the work in process in the month of Jan, it will be converted to finished goods in the month of Feb. Barry will have own manufactured goods in the month of Feb. But for the first month of Jan, Barry will buy the finished goods from the finished goods supplier. Out of these 200, 100 will be supplied to the customers and 100 will be maintained in the stock. In the next month, this 100 will be supplied to the customer. We are assuming Barry is following FIFO method, first in and first out method. So far as work in process is concerned, raw material supplier is being paid within 2 months. So 50 is coming from here into the work in process, 10 is coming here into the work in process, 20 is coming here into the work in process. In total 80 is being put within the work in process. Wages are being paid within the same month, so no payment is outstanding. Overhead supplier is being paid within 1 month, so Barry is enjoying credit of 10 here from the overhead supplier. Raw material supplier is being paid within 2 months, so Barry is enjoying credit of 100 here. So if I'm asking what is my working capital requirement, this is the same pattern, same discussion that we have in our previous lecture. So my working capital requirement is 20 only for the month of Jan, because Barry will be liable to pay to the employees within the same month, so 20 is the requirement for the month of Jan only. In the same way 30 for the month of Feb, because Barry will be required to pay wages as well as Barry will be required to pay 10 to the overhead supplier as well. But in the month of March, Barry working capital requirement is 280, because Barry will be liable to pay 200 to the finished goods supplier, 20 to the employees, 10 to the overhead supplier, and Barry will be liable to pay 50 to the raw material supplier. So working capital requirement is 280 in the month of March. In the month of April, Barry will have a surplus cash of 80. The reason is Barry will start getting money from the customers. If I'm asking what is my working capital in hand, means net working capital in hand is equal to current assets less current liability. This is 40, 50, 320 and so on. Coming back to the questions, first of all, I'm asking what is my working capital? This is current assets less current liabilities. What is my gross working capital? Sum of total assets, and the total assets are work in process, finished goods and receivable. If I'm taking a sum of this, it will become equal to my gross working capital. If I'm asking my net working capital, we have already calculated net working capital. If I'm asking what is my permanent working capital, we have already classified the permanent working capital into two categories. One is regular, second is the reserve permanent working capital. So regular, this is my regular working capital. Every month sale purchase, this is my regular working capital. Where is my reserve working capital? Here in the finished goods, I have a reserve stock of 100. So this 100 is my reserve working capital, and both of these are my permanent working capital. So far as fluctuating or flexible working capital is concerned, it will based upon the fluctuation in the production and sales. And this diagram will be quite helpful to understand what is my permanent working capital and what is my fluctuating working capital. This is my permanent working capital. And this number is going up. As soon as business will go up, sales will be higher, production will be higher, operating expenses will be higher, more working capital will be tied up. So it will increase with the passage of time, with the expansion in the business, with the increase in the sales, increase in the production, and so on. This portion is my fluctuating working capital. This is seasonal. Sometime it will go up, sometime it will come down. So this permanent working capital usually is being financed by the long-term debt or equity capital, and this fluctuating working capital usually being financed through the short-term financing. We have already discussed what is the reason of fluctuation. Demand is being changed, prices are being changed, payment terms are being changed, change in technology, policy change. These are the factors that will lead to fluctuation in the working capital. Thank you very much for joining us. In our coming lecture, we will discuss cash operating cycles for the trading business, which has 3 phases, for the manufacturing business, which has 5 phases. Stay with us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.